Toner probe. A toner probe, frequently referred to in the industry as a fox and hound, is a two-piece analog diagnostic tool used to physically trace a single, unlabeled cable from one location to another. It is the absolute fastest and most reliable way to locate a specific wire that is buried deep inside a massive bundle of identical cables. As you prepare for the CompTIA A+ exam and face real-world physical networking scenarios, you must understand exactly how this tool utilizes electromagnetic fields to find needles in digital haystacks, without ever requiring you to cut open a wire or unplug an active server. The scenario, the spaghetti closet. To understand the immense value of this tool, you must visualize the problem it solves. Imagine you are tasked with fixing a broken network connection for a user sitting in a distant cubicle. The wall jack next to their desk has no identification label. When you walk into the main server closet to find the other end of that connection, you are faced with a spaghetti closet. 300 completely identical blue Category 6 cables are pouring out of a hole in the ceiling, terminating into a massive, unlabeled patch panel. If you do not have a toner probe, your only option is to start unplugging cables one by one until the user's computer loses its link light. In a professional environment, randomly disconnecting active cables will take down servers, drop voice calls, and cause massive disruptions. The toner probe allows you to find the exact cable silently and seamlessly. Component 1, the tone generator, the Fox. The first half of the tool is the tone generator. You take this small, battery-powered box to the user's cubicle and plug it directly into the wall jack. Most professional generators have a few different connection options built in. They feature an RJ45 plug for standard data ports, an RJ11 plug for older telephone lines, and a pair of metal alligator clips for attaching directly to bare copper wires if the connector is missing. Once plugged in, you turn the generator on. It begins injecting a continuous, alternating analog audio frequency, usually a distinct, high-pitched warbling siren sound, directly into the copper wire. This electrical signal travels the entire length of the cable, all the way back to the server room. Component 2, the inductive probe, the Hound. The second half of the tool is the inductive probe. You carry this wand-like device into the server closet. It functions as an amplifier and a speaker. The magic of the probe is the principle of induction. The tip of the probe is made of a specialized, non-conductive composite material. You do not need to strip the plastic jacket off the cables, and you do not need the probe to physically touch the raw copper inside. As the analog audio frequency travels down the wire from the generator, it naturally radiates a very small electromagnetic field just outside the plastic jacket of the cable. The inductive probe is designed to detect that specific magnetic field and convert it back into audible sound. The process, tracing the signal. Tracing the cable is a process of physical elimination. You activate the probe and begin waving the non-conductive tip back and forth over the massive bundles of cables coming out of the ceiling. At first, you will hear nothing but light static. But as the tip of the probe sweeps past the specific cable carrying your analog signal, the speaker will emit a faint warbling sound. You separate the bundle into two smaller groups and sweep the probe again to see which group is producing the sound. You continue to divide the cables, following the noise, until you isolate the single wire that makes the probe scream at maximum volume. You have now successfully traced the cable from the cubicle straight to the exact port on the patch panel, allowing you to label it and repair the connection without disrupting a single neighboring device. The limitation, tracing versus testing. For your certification, you must draw a hard line between the toner probe and a cable tester. This is a highly tested concept. A toner probe only verifies physical continuity and location. Because it uses an analog audio signal, it does not care if the 8 tiny internal wires are crossed, broken, or crimped in the wrong order. If even one solid strand of copper makes it from the cubicle to the closet, the tone will carry and the probe will sound. Therefore, you use the toner probe strictly to find where the cable goes. Once you have found it and crimped a new connector onto it, you must switch to a cable tester or a multimeter to verify that the digital data can actually flow perfectly across all 8 pins without interference. By mastering the analog magic of the fox and hound, you will be able to map and untangle the most chaotic physical infrastructures with surgical precision.